Scott, can you describe the business model of genome oncology?
We're a software solutions provider in the biotech space. We're basically providing decision support and data, which enables various folks throughout the medical ecosystem to help make decisions impacting cancer care. So we have a solution that is driven towards pathologists and helps them take the output of some genomic testing and then looking at potential therapies or clinical trials for patients, and that's produced in a report. The pathologist is obviously not making that treatment decision. That's the oncologist's job, but they are producing the report that would get handed off for usage further down the road in a treatment plan. We have a number of tools that are more oncologist facing. That's helping them identify patients again where they are eligible for clinical trials or are looking at FDA approved therapies and pulling back and looking at that from a broader population perspective. So they might also be looking to spin up a clinical trial. So they want to understand the population of eligible patients maybe at their institution who would qualify for that trial if you're developing a cohort or analyzing what patient populations you have. As you could imagine, then there are offshoots there into pharma and drug development or drug discovery based on biomarkers. There are other things from a commercial perspective where payers might look at that in terms of a reimbursement cycle. We're providing all kinds of harmonized data that's really operating in that space.
Separate from climbing the learning curve of the domain knowledge around cancer and next generation sequencing and learning how to talk to pathologists and oncologists in the space who are not digital marketers or CTOs, what's been the most eye opening piece of data or anecdote you've been exposed to about this market and what genome oncology is doing to impact individuals who have cancer?
One of the things that's really surprising is if you look at the statistics, it's still less than 10% of cancer patients who end up on a clinical trial. And there are a number of reasons for that. There are adoption challenges at a doctor level of wanting to participate meaningfully in clinical trials. There could just be institutional challenges with getting approvals or internal review board challenges. There are finding the appropriate primary investigators to sponsor those trials. There's the financial components and contractual components that need to be worked out between pharma and the providing institutions. There's lots of different things that can be roadblocks along that way. So it's not just, is there something that is potentially better or more appropriate for a patient? There's a lot of steps that need to go in or take place before some of those things can happen. From a business perspective, has been eye opening in terms of some of the sales cycles and some of the consensus building and the number of stakeholders that you're really having to sell to and win over is much different than many of the business situations that we've been in the past, where you can find a single stakeholder who owns the budget, owns the purse strings,
Yeah.
and can direct that purchase. So it is a very complex sales cycle. It totally makes sense. On the other end, this is truly one of those matters where lives hang in the balance and everything needs to be right.